The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary Related Entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes. Now in our 10th year of broadcasting each week, we continue to talk story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Base Yard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During this hour, we'll share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. Today, we're going to start off the show talking with David Daly, who is the director for MEO's Business Development Center. Hey, David, how you doing?
I'm good, Sue.
Are ya?
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, always a pleasure to have you on. I like following up on what's happening in my old stomping grounds.
Yeah. There's always stuff going on. We can always do more. So.
Well, I keep looking around, and I think I said this when I was there. I said, how many more classes can we do? How many more students can we get? How many more new businesses are going to start? Because it is so hard to get started.
Yep.
And it was like, should we be thinking of something else we should do just in case? And here it is, we're pushing 8 years later.
Yeah.
You realize that?
Yeah, I do realize that. Is that human years or is that doggy?
No, that's human years. And you still got full classes and running 6 of them a year.
Yeah, and the classes have gotten smaller, so there is a little bit of a decline on the numbers, but
let's stop and talk about that for just a moment. I've always had a theory that when employment is high, the classes are going to drop because people are saying we're satisfied or we're making extra overtime.
Yeah.
We don't need that extra income from a side business, which would turn into a real business for them. And so I would anticipate it'd be down a little bit.
Yeah, and that's exactly has been my thought for the last year and a half or so. And I think it's just people are not willing to sort of go, oh yeah, I'll take that leap. The motivation is there, but it's like, you know what? I'm okay.
It's comfortable.
Yeah. I'll do it another time.
Yeah.
So it's not as we saw in late 2008, 2009, 2010 when people were going, I actually need to do something.
Right.
I need a job.
Right.
So I will create my own job. So,
yep. There you go. Yeah. The one of the things that I think, though, that I'd like to emphasize, if I can take just a little bit of your time,
sure,
is that while they're working and if they are making some extra money and they think down the road they might want to start their own business, now's the time to stash some cash.
Definitely. And, that's the beauty of our program, that, it's more than just that 6 weeks, as you know. They can come back and literally do one-on-one anytime. They can come back to another class. So, there's always that ongoing technical assistance aspect, which is all free. There's no charge for
right.
it. And, it gives people a little bit of that comfort, but there's no immediate, I have to do it tomorrow.
Right.
So, unfortunately, we have run into some people who needed financing and things, yesterday, and they put the cart before the horse a few times, and it makes it very difficult to do what you really want to do.
Right. And you're talking about into the future, I still have people who stop me in the grocery store or on the street and say, are you still teaching? And and they'll remind me and refresh my memory as to what they were going to be doing and so on and so forth. And I say, have you started? And they go, not yet, but I've still got the book and I'm still working on it, and the time is going to happen, but it's just not right yet.
Yep. And we do. Every class usually has at least one former student.
Oh, really?
Yes. And it's been fairly consistent through the last few years, where there's always one who's coming back going, it could have been 5 years ago, it could have been 2 years ago, it could have been 10 years ago. They'll come back and go, I never did it, but just want to get caught back up.
Right.
So,
right. The other thing, when we're talking about stashing away cash for this to help them start that business, I remember one of my actually, I think one of my most successful students used extra money he had to buy equipment for his business because he had kind of a target date, and as he saw auctions and whatever of equipment that he knew he was going to need or use in his business,
right.
he would go ahead and buy it because it wasn't a timely thing. I mean, it wasn't like it would go out of style or
right,
so on. And when he started his business, he had almost everything he needed.
That's outstanding,
isn't it?
And that's one of the fundamentals that I like about the Core 4 is in the first segment of success planning, just getting people's mind wrapped around the foundation that you need to venture into this business. Don't take it lightly, cash and savings and family structure and, the stability of what has to happen for you to take that next step. I don't care how good your business plan is. That's what I like about it, because it really puts people back on their heels a little bit to really think about it. Yeah, you're thinking about your business that you're intending to do, but you're also thinking, okay, am I in a position to do this right now? Is it tomorrow? Is it a year from now? So that just gives people a little bit more of a chance of success.
Right.
Which is really what we're after.
Right. It's that first of all, the passion for what they want to do, and then the focus.
Yeah.
And having the freedom to be able to focus.
Definitely.
Is so important. I actually ran into a student of yours who graduated a couple years ago. Ran into her yesterday. Lokahi's got that space on Market Street for rent, the storefront space or restaurant space, whatever it may turn out to be. And this person was interested in looking at it for an interesting idea. It's a very interesting idea, and I'm kind of hoping she puts it together.
Oh, good.
But she said I'm the one in their group who does all the business planning and digging for investments and all this kind of stuff. And she says, and I do really do a business plan, she said, because I took the Core 4 class and they can tell you how many times I revised it while I was taking the class, not to mention before we opened our shop now.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, man. And she sparkled as she talked about how often she got back to that plan to fix it.
Yep. Well, I mean, just having a plan and being able to put stuff in front of you to go, this is my intention and this is how I'm going to get there. It sounds sort of empty in the beginning, but when people are empowered and know what they want to do and how they're getting there, then it becomes that light bulb situation where they can, it gives them, just that backup to be able to know that they can do it this particular way because they've already done the due diligence and research to go, hey, it's within the ballpark.
Right, right. They're not going into it blindly.
Exactly.
And they have a much better chance of success than just taking everything they've got and throwing it into it and saying, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So saving time and saving money, and actually they're both the same thing. Right?
There you go.
Time is money.
Exactly.
So.
So I was really kind of thrilled very open about, how she was doing it. And she said,
Awesome.
I'll get back to you within 2 weeks with what I put together. And I'm thinking, whoa, that's cool. So I'm kind of excited about what she's thinking. And I'm not going to go beyond that. So,
all right.
But
hopefully
maybe
I will remember.
Well, I would imagine. I can remember some people who did a lot of revisions to their plans, before they even graduated.
Right.
Let alone those who came back later and said, "Hey, you remember the plan I turned in and when I was graduation night?"
Right. Right.
This is nothing like that. I've totally changed it.
Yeah. You do have that.
Yeah, but at least you've done it on paper and you have not invested hard-earned cash
Exactly.
and time in setting up something that wasn't going to work.
Yeah, there's so many iterations that people go through within the class, and then, beyond that, when they are done, before they actually launch anything, there are multiple changes that go on for the better, hopefully.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah. And I think with every step you learn a little more because you're doing more, doing your due diligence. And as you learn, hey, you can't rent a place for that price. You thought, well, you could, but,
or you can't find a place,
can't
period.
There you go. That's another thing. Yes.
So
we talk about there's a lot of empty storefronts, but most of them are empty for a reason.
Yeah. And there's a unique sort of position where startups are looking for a particular square footage and type of space, and those are the ones that you can't find.
Right.
So they're not going to walk into a spot at Maui Marketplace that's 5,000 square feet.
Right.
That just doesn't fit. So that's probably the one of the hardest things for people who are looking for any type of space for a business, whether it be industrial, office,
Right.
retail. So.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I've run into with this restaurant or storefront space is a lot of startup restaurants. I mean, there's so many people who have their idea of food and think that's what they want to do, and maybe they've been doing it for somebody else, but now they're ready to try their own thing, and they've got an investor or two, and they come look at it and they go, it's just too big. It's 2,400 square feet.
Right.
I'd like to have about half to 2/3 of that. And I can't cut it off, kind of a thing. But maybe there's a way you could put something else up in the front, in the window area, right on the street, if that's not what you want. And I had one who came in with a really cool idea, and they said that's exactly what they do, is have something different on the storefront, and then make the restaurant kind of one of those go down the little alleyway there into the side door, kind of a cool thing. Yeah. And I said, you could certainly try it. I mean, it's a nice wide walkway, so it's not like a real, what you think of between buildings. And I said, that could be kind of cool. You're going to have to market it a little differently. Yeah. But why not?
The vision that people get to have the fun part of, designing a space that will work for them. It's always an interesting part.
Yeah, you think about, I wonder where they picked up on that idea. When all the years I spent in Honolulu, it was always a joke in Chinatown. You didn't want to walk down any of those alleys because you didn't want to know what was back there.
Yeah.
It was the back door to all those Chinese restaurants, and they leave the back doors open. You never know what's coming and going back there. So you'd best stay out on the street. Go in the front door, get your food, eat, take it with you, whatever. Forget about the kitchen and the back area.
Let the health department deal with that side.
Yeah. So it's always fun, and of course, I've got that's in my blood.
Right.
And so it's probably more fun for me to talk to these people than a lot of other folks would have.
Yeah.
Because now I'm on the other side.
Yeah,
of it.
You've been there, done that, seen it, want to do it.
Did it.
Exactly.
Right. The only thing I haven't done is a restaurant. No, I don't want to go there. No.
Yeah, that's a tough.
Yeah.
At any level, that's a very competitive industry. I mean, look at what we're having with food trucks.
Yeah.
Just like, I want to do a food truck. Okay, well, where are you going to do this food truck? Not to say anything about the menu.
Right. Have we saturated the market?
I would say we're pretty close.
Yeah.
We're pretty close. So.
Interesting.
I mean, different levels of cost and availability, which is unique to that. But you see most food trucks now are actually in place. So they're brick and mortar almost, rather than being, the food truck is here one day and it's there the next day. They're at a particular location. So
interesting.
Yeah.
And most of them on private property.
Most of them should be on private property.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that you run into is just the dynamics of, I want to do this. Well, can you do that? Okay, here's where you have to find out if you can actually do that. And then they get no, I can't do it. I can't do that. I've got everything else lined up, but I can't do that. So
Right. Interesting.
save some hopefully it saves them money and time to be able to kind of do some of that research rather than going, oh, I bought the truck and I'm ready to go, but I don't have anywhere to put it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember somebody coming into class the first night and saying, I've already got the truck.
Yeah.
I just need to know how to run the business. And I'm going, oh my gosh, here we go. On that note, we've got to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with our nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out what's happening in their world. And today we started the show talking with David Daly, who's the director of MEO's Business Development Center. One of the programs that's near and dear to my heart because it's all about business, and that's, I don't know how did I get hung up on business? You know, I'm a farm girl from rural Indiana.
The passion always shows through. You have that splinter. You couldn't get the splinter out.
I guess.
Well, you have the term serial entrepreneur, and you really see that in people who, they'll go even within that industry they're in, and they'll do so many different facets of that, but they're always drawn to that. That individual is going to succeed at some point through the process of that business.
Interesting. Well, my mother always used to say that I caught the bug when I was old enough to ride my bicycle from our house the half mile into town on a rural road to make the deposit to the bank for Dad's small grocery store, which was in another town. So he'd bring home the deposit at night, fix it up, give it to me. In summertime especially, I'd jump on my bicycle and ride into town and do that, and then I could stop and get a cherry Coke.
There you
that
go.
was my reward, and then ride my bicycle back home. And I said, that's what started all this? It was taking money to the bank. Well, I guess that's a good way to start.
That's at the end of the day, that's what you want to do if you're in business.
Right.
Take money to the bank.
Now I look at that country road and I go, my parents must have been crazy to allow a 10-year-old girl on a bicycle to ride with money to town. I mean, I wouldn't send my kid out there. I wouldn't
Not
let
today.
him go. No, not today.
No.
I mean, that's another time.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was a great time.
That was a great time.
Yeah.
That was
More than 10 years ago.
Yeah, a couple more.
Yeah, when I was 10. But anyway, I mean, you're right. You don't know where these things come from, but yeah. It's in your blood. You got to do it.
Yep. And just on that note, just being able to put things in front of people through the Core 4 or the technical assistance to make them aware of the responsibilities and some of the things that come up, because some people are not suited for that.
Right.
Even though they say, I have this desire and I really want to do it. But once you start uncovering a few things, they realize, maybe that's not really my forte. So
and maybe they need a partner or a keeper.
Yep.
And I refer to a lot of people as needing keepers.
Definitely.
One that can take care of the money, the paperwork, keep them out of trouble, that side.
Yep.
And they're the creative side, or the thinking, or the wanting to grow and open up and do things.
Exactly.
So sometimes it takes two instead of one.
Yep.
You guys did something kind of cool last year with financial literacy.
Yeah.
Why don't you share a little bit of that and what your hope is for this coming year?
Excellent. Yeah, we were able to get our I say get our foot in the door, but we did a presentation, a number of presentations to the Department of Education, to the principals and vice principals, and were able to get an invitation to come in to Maui High School and do our financial literacy curriculum, which is based off of, actually the curriculum is from the Hawaii Community Assets Project, and it's called Ku'uwaiwai, and it really covers all facets of youth financial literacy. So understanding the dynamics of where the money comes from, how you save it, what budgeting is, things that you spend it on that are unknown because you're just spending, kind of being able to put them in a position to look and to analyze, and then talk about, even further down the road, investments and making money with money.
Wow.
So we were in for about 6 weeks, so not the full semester, and there were about 50 kids. There were 3 different classes that we did.
Terrific.
And they loved it. And they're evaluated on a pre-test on what they know going in, and then they're able to finish up and have a post-test. And the difference between the amount of knowledge that they incurred in that time period is amazing, and they all were really engaged and really excited. So
Interesting.
it was fun.
The difference between what they thought they knew and what they finally learned.
Didn't really,
No?
it wasn't even what they
Oh.
thought they knew. They just weren't presented with ever having to answer those types of questions. So just down to, you have a job. Okay, well, how much money are you making? Well, how do you spend that money? Just putting
Basic.
it down on paper, going, wow, you actually make pretty good money. And mom and dad kick in a little bit too.
Wow.
So, just, okay, this is how it's going to be next year. You're a senior, so if you're not living with mom and dad, this is the things that you're going to incur that you're not paying for now. So just giving them sort of a window to the future. Yeah.
So these were all juniors.
All seniors.
Oh, they're seniors.
Yeah.
Oh, so they were ready to walk out the door. I
Yeah,
got you.
literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they were all very engaged, and they all had fun with it because it was sort of a peer-to-peer kind of bonding scenario as well. So it was good fun.
Does it go into things like checking accounts and balancing your bank
Yep.
statement and all that good stuff?
And
which people say they've never learned how to do.
Well, just why you would do it. What is that methodology?
Right.
And obviously the curriculum and the copyright of what we were using versus what we use today with everything being online and the accessibility and that sort of thing. It's the same structure, but it's a different window that they're looking through.
Right.
So it just really opened up their eyes to that fact of how you want to handle money.
Right.
And hopefully you have a lot of it to handle.
And hopefully you're not one of those who says, well, I ran out of checks, so I guess I'm out of money.
Right.
Because many people don't even use checks anymore or have checks. It's all that little card that they use, and they don't know they don't have any until they go to use it, and somebody hands it back to them and says, I'm sorry.
Or they're online. They're mobile.
Right.
Everything's mobile. Oh, I can,
True.
Suze, I can pay you back that $20 that you took me to lunch for the other
Hey,
day.
really?
I can just do it on my phone.
Oh, I just got it.
And they know, they're so akamai when it comes to that. They know all the ins and outs. So the
That's a
what did
challenge
it-
to the teacher.
Yeah, we were learning at the same time. Yeah, we were very fortunate to have Christine Oliveira, who was, I would say, 4 years removed from graduating from high school. And she developed just an unbelievable rapport with the kids. So they were able to absorb a lot of what she was giving them in real life examples.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
No gray-haired people.
No,
in there.
oh, doesn't count, huh? Oh, come on. We have a chance yet. We just have to learn to get with the times.
That's and you can teach a dinosaur a new trick.
And I don't know who he was looking at when he said that. I'm looking around the room to see if anybody caught it. Okay.
Figure of speech.
Yes, true. Very true. So you're hoping to be able to do that again this coming year?
Yep.
Is that a one-time thing during the semester?
I think
or the
it could
school year?
be. It really is positioned. Obviously, capacity would be, how much we can actually do, but being able to affect and bring that knowledge in and have the kids have fun with it. Our goal would be able to do it throughout the whole school year at different schools.
Right.
So we are Maui High, Hana. They're aware of it now. Bring it up country, King K,
Right.
Baldwin, that sort of thing.
Cool. Very good.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. I like that idea.
Start them young.
Well, hey, by the time they're seniors, I think they've been doing it a while.
Yep.
Many of them.
Well, we were able, the fun thing too is we were able to kind of throw in a little core 4 in there as well.
There
So
you
you
go.
kind of sparked a little bit of the what if scenario. Yep.
Kind of start a trigger there to as they go on to whether they're going to college or
Right.
whatever they're doing, keep in the back of their mind that's another possibility.
Yep. Exactly.
You never know when it's going to come up.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Sooner
So-
better than later.
Your half hour's up. I'm sorry.
Okay. Bye.
So you've got another class starting.
We have another class starting the 2nd of July.
Okay.
So
That's a Tuesday.
yes, those of you out there who are interested in any type of business planning or knowledge or anything to do with running or starting or financing a business, this class is for you.
Or fixing your business.
Or fixing your business. So definitely. We
Yeah.
do have a number of business owners that will come through the Core 4 and do the aha moment of, wow, that was obvious. Why wasn't I doing that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need is that. And out of the course, which is 6 weeks or 12 sessions, sometimes it's that one night
Yep.
when you're sitting there, and I know I saw some light bulbs go on.
I will have to say that I probably focus the two main areas would be marketing and cash flow.
Yeah.
Being able to have people see that they can make money with the idea that they're proposing and the business they're proposing to do, that's usually the aha moment of light bulb.
Right. And why do I have to do cash flow? I get the bill, I pay it. Well, nah, there's more to it. Right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's having the cash to pay it when it's due. That's the trick.
Yeah. So those run through the middle of August. So it goes by pretty quick.
It does.
Evenings, Tuesday, Thursday evenings, 6 to 9.
6 to 9. And do you have some introductory sessions?
We do.
They
We
can
have
come to?
one at our facility at MEO on, I believe, the last day, one of the last days of June. And then one we do during the afternoon at the Maui County Resource Center, which allows people who are working evenings to pop in and maybe see what the whole course is about. So it's really just an overview.
The one on at MEO's office is on June 25th
Yep.
from 6 to 7. And then the next day at noon at the Maui County Business Resource Center in the Maui Mall
There you go.
at 12 to 1. Cool. And phone number
249-2990.
and website to come and check out some things.
MEOinc.org.
That's MEOINC.org.
Correct.
Okay. I had somebody who kept trying to put in INK, and I thought, what the heck? Okay.
That's good.
That's a basis for taking the class right there.
I have not heard that, but
Oh,
that's
really?
good. I'm going to
Yeah.
use that one.
Yeah, no, somebody said, it just doesn't go through. It just keeps,
Bouncing back.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck are you telling me? And I said, MEOINC. Oh, see? Yeah. And it was dead silence, and they sent it over, and there it was.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
anyway, David, thank you so much for being here. And
You are very welcome. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting us talk story a little bit and let people know a little bit about our program.
well, I think there's probably something like 2,000 people out there that have been touched by either you or me in one way or another with
Yeah.
hopefully some valuable business knowledge.
Going back and reconciling some of going back 5 years, it's just amazing to see the names and just the number of
Yeah.
people that have gone through. So, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's great. And continued success.
Thank you.
And good luck. You've got one opening left. If there's anybody,
Yep.
are you still accepting applications, or are you all set to interview those two
No,
and pick one?
we'll always accept viable candidates for the business development specialist position.
There you go.
Yeah, we do have one opening.
Okay,
So,
that's right here on Maui.
right here on Maui.
Very good. Thank you, David.
You're very welcome. Thank
Okay,
you.
we'll see you later. And now we're going to shift gears, and we're going to go from the business side of things out into nature. Oh, how was that for a segue? Huh? We have Kapua Chang is with us, who is the program
coordinator.
coordinator. There we go. Okay. And with the Hawaii Nature Center here on Maui, how are things up in the woods?
They're going really great. It's the end of the year. We wrapped up our school programs for the 2018-2019 year a couple weeks ago, and now we are gearing up for our summer nature adventure camps.
Cool, and that's always a good time for the kids. What are we looking at? Is that in July?
It is. So our nature camps will run through the entire month of July. Each week there's a different theme. It's for children ages 6 to 11.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just a really fun time for them to.
So what kind of things can they learn about in those?
So
camps?
we'll weeks 1 and 4. The theme is Malama Honua, so they're going to be learning all about how to Malama Aina, take care of where they're from. We'll be going to 2 field trips every week. So for that week, we're hoping to get out to Alo'i, still working that out with some community partners, and then Ko'ia'ia Fish Pond out in Kihei.
Uh-huh.
Week 2, our theme is amazing adaptations. So kids will be learning all about that. Same thing, 2 field trips. They'll be going for that week. We have partnerships with Kealia Pond, so they'll be going out there, and then also Waihe'e Coastal Dunes.
Ah,
So yeah, they get to go all over.
interesting.
And then our third week is all about our blue planet. So our planet's mostly made up of water, so the kids will get to learn about where that water is, the resources we use in regards to water, and things like that. So it's really, really fun. They spend most of their day outside. It's a different environment for them. You know, they're not in a classroom for 6 to 8 hours a day.
Right.
So it's really, really it's a great time.
And what age group again was this?
6 to 11. So
Six-
elementary age.
Oh, okay. Ages 6 to 11.
Yes, correct.
Interesting. That's small.
Um,
Young.
yeah. They're little. We got to catch them when they're little. Our mission at the Hawaii Nature Center is to foster awareness and appreciation for our environment, and we do that through education. Start them really young. We have preschool programs during the school year.
true,
So, yeah, we really want to raise up the next generation to get back outside, get connected to nature.
Do you find they take what they learn and take it home, and parents get more involved, and brothers and sisters get involved?
Definitely, especially with our nature adventure camps. So we have intercession camps. So we'll run one through the fall, winter, spring, and then summer. But we get more time with the kids then, and we always have parents who will pick them up and, talk story with us for a little bit, or they'll email us later on. And one little boy that attended our winter nature adventure camp, his mom will still contact us, and she'll tell us, hey, he's still scolding me for using Ziploc bags because it's single-use plastics. So
Ah.
so we know that they're catching on to a lot of the stuff that we're sharing with them.
Right.
So
Well,
it's
that's a
really,
home
really
run.
great. It is.
That's great.
And we saw that little boy. He came with his school a couple months ago, and we could hear him during lunchtime showing his friends his reusable bag. And
got
telling
his
them,
point across.
Yeah, telling them, hey, don't use Ziplocs. Tell your mom and dad to buy reusable bags. So it's great. It's something sticking, so it's
Right,
great.
right.
Yeah.
We start with the little ones and little ideas, and it grows from there.
Yeah, and parents, part of our mission, like I said, was to get kids connected to nature, but we really want to involve the entire family.
Right.
So, and we find that when we can connect with the kids, they'll go home. They'll take all that information home to mom, dad, brother, sister, grandma, grandpa.
Right.
So it's
Well,
great.
They're so excited about what they learned, and
They are.
and they can teach mom and dad and the rest of the family.
Yes,
That's
very
cool.
enthusiastically. They have a lot of enthusiasm for what
Right.
they're learning.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, that we should all have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Perfect.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, your weekly radio show where we talk story with our nonprofits here in Maui County to find out what they're doing to support. Actually, does the Nature Center support needs? Yeah, that's a need in the community to keep nature.
I think so.
Nature.
Yeah. We got to protect nature, our resources. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Raise up these kids to be leaders, to be at the forefront of all these environmental issues.
That's a very important thing because we know from some of the studies that time is running out on some of these.
Yep. Yeah, we
Ideas.
gotta be diligent in what we're doing.
Right. So now I know that in addition, like this camp, I'm really excited about. I didn't realize it was for the youngsters, ages
Right,
6 to
6 to
11. I mean,
11.
that's the impressionable age where the kids come running home and. Now this is a day camp, right?
It is. It's a day camp. Our hours for camp are 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, and it's Monday through Friday.
Interesting. So is it usually the parents drop them off, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So, and they, I would imagine very few take all 4 sessions.
Yeah, we don't. It's always a cost thing.
Right.
So we don't have too many kids who will take all 4 or 5 consecutive weeks. But we have repeats, like some of our kids who we had during our fall nature adventure camp, we saw again in the winter or the spring. It's a little bit easier when it's spread out during the school year as opposed to 5 consecutive weeks in the summer.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
But yeah, there's always a lot of interest. It's just a matter of cost. So
Right.
that's kind of one of the obstacles we deal with.
Right.
At the Nature Center for the kids. We do have an awesome partnership with Maui County. We have a Maui County recycling grant. So with that grant, we are able to gift 10 kids per session free camp, which is great. So all of the spots for our summer camp are already filled for scholarships. But in the future,
something to remember.
yes, the scholarship form will be put onto our website, and it's really easy. Parents, it's 1 page. They don't have to turn in any documentation. It's really easy. So, yeah, that's
Cool.
always an option for our families who maybe can't afford the full cost of camp. Yeah.
Right. What? How many children are in each of these camps?
So we will take up to 20.
20. Okay, so that's a good manageable group.
Yeah, because I mean, if we have, 6 to 11-year-olds, we do get a few 10 and 11-year-olds, but I would say, at least in the past 3 camps that I've done so far, being back at the nature center, we've gotten more of the 6 to 8-year-old range.
Gotcha. And so when you go on your field trips, the bus for 20 kids is not that big a deal.
Yep, and we have a great partnership with MEO. MEO gives us buses for all of our nature camp field trips, so mahalo nui to them. So yeah,
That's great.
it's awesome.
Yeah,
Community partnerships are awesome, especially
Exactly.
with nonprofits. So
And that's what we're all about, is working together and
Right.
coordinating our efforts and making it possible for everybody to do
Right,
their programs. Now, you also have an event that you hold every, what is it, first Saturday of the
we
month?
do. So we every first Saturday of the month we have a volunteer work day. So it's from 9 a.m. to noon. People can just show up to our site up in Eau Valley, and our volunteer coordinator will kind of handle that. But a lot of times, she will have you either do some landscaping, trail maintenance, because our kids are using our trail throughout the year, so we want to make sure to keep it clean, to keep it safe. Sometimes we'll clear some invasives and plant native or Polynesian plants. Sometimes it's as simple as weeding or mowing the lawn. So we could use all the help we could get.
And that's open to all ages?
Yep, you can bring your family if you want to. High schoolers or college kids, if you need volunteer hours for any programs you're with, come on down.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's a perfect thing for somebody who lives in an apartment or a condo where they don't have a yard to take care of on the
yes.
weekends.
Yes.
Grab the family and go out there and work on your
Yep.
yard.
And it's really fun. You can, the stream's right next, so after you help do any landscaping work or whatever it may be that day, you can jump in the stream. It's such a gorgeous place to get out to bring your family out to, regardless of if you're doing a service project or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, is that when you say, what are the hours of that?
That's 9 to noon.
9 to noon. Okay, so you're done at noon.
Yep.
You could bring a picnic.
Yep. Bring some lunch with you, and you could eat lunch on our property or go down to Kipani White Park. We're so close to that park. So, yeah. We also, to kind of piggyback on that, we do have our big volunteer work day. We do it once a year. It's usually in the beginning of summer. And that will be on June 22nd. And that'll be same hour, or actually, I think this one starts at 8 to noon, and we are providing lunch for that one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, what's different about this one?
This one, it's just, it's kind of like all hands on deck, shout out to the community, like, hey, because it's the end of our school year, we need help cleaning our classroom, and we do our bigger maintenance projects during that time. We usually have people volunteer from, construction companies, so we got a lot more muscle to, pull stuff around, and we're building some trail stairs that we need help with. We're going to be hosting Kahaleakeola at the end of the month. So we're actually going to be, cleaning out our dorm rooms for them. So, yeah, just more hands, make lighter work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the dorm rooms. Explain a little bit about the dorm rooms.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we don't really advertise the use of our dorm rooms anymore, and that's because our buildings took a really hard hit when we had that
Big
flood
storm.
back in 2016, right?
Yeah.
So in the back of our main nature center building, we have the 2 dorm buildings, and one of them has been completely shut down because when the flood brought down all those boulders, it cracked the foundation of that side of the building. So we had to decommission it, unfortunately. But the other side is still up and running. We just we're a nonprofit, so we need funds to,
Right.
upkeep it, maintain it. But when we do have organizations or other nonprofits come to us and ask about possible partnerships, we'll consider it, if they want to use the space.
Right. I remember a few years ago, probably more than a few years ago now, nonprofit directors had a retreat at the Nature Center. And the building, we had several workshops that we did in the building.
Right.
And then had the open trail and some other things. And it was great. I mean, just a great day to be out, in nature.
Yeah, we are very blessed to have the space we do. Eau Valley's beautiful. So it's unfortunate that we're not as open to the public as we have been in years past, but we're really, really glad and excited that we can still be open for at least our kids, the school programs, the nature camps, until we can find, more funding or expand programs.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a food facility on
No,
site?
we do not.
Okay.
Yeah. And we used to before.
Yeah.
Not anymore. It's been, gosh, I would say at least 7 years. Seven or 8 years since we've had the little cafe up there. Yeah.
That kind of times when we were there, because that was open that time. Interesting. Yeah. So this is part. The Hawaii Nature Center is based on Oahu.
Correct.
As the parent organization.
Right.
Is there one on Kauai or the Big Island, or is it just us?
It's just Oahu and Maui as of right now. Our Oahu site is up in Makiki Valley. I believe we're going on 30 years. I think we just celebrated 30 years. Either we'll be doing that this year or last year. I just started again in last October.
Gotcha.
So I'm,
getting caught up.
Right. And then Maui site opened about 5 years after them. So we're just a little younger than them.
Gotcha. Well, it's a great location and a great spot, and I know after that storm it was devastating up in there, and people wondered if things would ever get back to kind of quote normal. Right.
We still have some people. I'll get emails, or people will just kind of wander up as we're doing a program. Be like, "Hey, is this space open? I know it looks empty, but we do." So the front of our building, we have a Hawaiian immersion school up there. And then, of course, during the school year, Nature Center holds our school field trips. So it's just a matter of us having enough funds to expand when the time comes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. You need a benefactor.
I know.
Isn't that what they called? Somebody says, "Hey, here's some money."
Yeah.
Yeah. Just put our name on the plaque.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a thought I'm passing along to anyone out there who's listening.
You want to support some nature camps or support our keiki? Email me.
There you go. And how would they do that?
Yeah, so you could always visit our website. It's hawaiinaturecenter.org. To get any more detailed information specifically for our Maui site, you can email myself at kapua@hawaiinaturecenter.org. Or just for general questions, you could also email Maui bookings at hawaiinaturecenter.org.
Oh, okay. Do you use the phone at all anymore?
So we do have a landline. We are just, because a lot of our programs are outdoors, we are very rarely in the office.
Right.
So even when we advertise our registration period for teachers for our school programs, we always say email. I check my email at least 10 times a day, so email's best.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I know when I walked in the door, you were checking it.
Yeah.
We had a last-minute communication by email.
Yes.
Yeah, it's isn't that wonderful?
Oh, yes.
When you think about it, what did we do before we had that?
I have no idea.
I think I missed a lot of things, or found out late, kind of deal. But yeah, it's great, and I know for anybody who has not been up there lately, take a drive.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's different. If you haven't been up there since the 2016 flood, it looks really different. Even our site, the Hawaii Nature Center, when the floods came down, it brought down a bunch of gravel and rocks. So you can't see some part of our sidewalk anymore on our campus, but it's still beautiful. And before, I remember people would obviously always come up to swim, and there was always those two really big ponds up across the bridge. If you went across the bridge, which is closed now, and hiked a little further up, there was that spot where the diversion was, and another big pond further up, and those ponds aren't really there anymore. So, but there's lots of other smaller ponds now. So
okay.
it's kind of nice. People spread out now.
Yeah, yeah. But now it's always. I know we get these flash floods.
Yes.
Just if it rains up in the valley, upper valley, sometimes you don't know down below, and I know it can be dangerous. So everybody needs to be on their toes.
Yes, and so all of our school programs, we don't take the kids into the stream at all. Everything's done on our property on campus. We do some of our stations, our rotations for our activities are right next to the stream, but we never take the school kids into the stream. Our nature adventure camp kids do get to go swimming on Fridays. Fridays we reserve for our swimming days, but we always have a lifeguard. And myself and my staff know what to look for. We're always looking out for flash floods because it can be sunny in Eow Valley, and next thing you know, the water's turning muddy.
Yeah, that's a sign.
Yeah, that's a sign.
That's a sign. Oh, wow. Kapua, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
I look forward to more adventures up there.
Yeah.
And working with 6-year-olds to 11-year-olds. I mean, that has got to be the most fun in the world.
That's amazing. Best job.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yes.
Being able to spend the days of the week with them and teaching them things. And, earlier on the show we were talking about people getting the light bulb goes on, when they catch something. I mean, light bulbs must be flashing all over the place with these kids.
Oh, yeah.
They think of what they just saw dad do or mom do, and no, that's not right. I got to teach them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I teach them about their Aina, their land, and because really, if no one's gonna want to protect what they don't love, so we really just want these kids to love where they're from,
right,
and just connect back with nature.
You got it. Thank you, Kapua.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Please give them a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. Pacific Source has been our sponsor from day one, and we truly thank them for their ongoing support. And to you, our listeners, we thank you for the response our agencies get from you regarding the activities that we talk about on this program. The Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies, and if you see one there that you'd like to learn more about, go to their website and check them out. Today we talked with David Daly of MEO's Business Development Center and with Kapua Chang from Hawaii Nature Center on Maui. We want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to join us again next week, right here, same time, same place. KAOI Radio, 1110 a.m. and 98.7, which is my favorite way to listen on the FM channel. We'll feature 2 more representatives of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association next week. And until then, I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. It's summer. Everyone enjoy the weather. We've got Kamehameha Day coming up next Tuesday. And then we will be back on the air on Wednesday to talk to 2 more agencies. We want to thank you again for joining us today. Have a great week, everyone. Aloha.